Hi everyone, David MacDonald here from Vitality Fitness Calgary. Many of you are probably getting ready for the Christmas holidays. Maybe you're attending Christmas parties. Maybe you've already attended a Christmas party or a Christmas potluck. One of the biggest challenges most of our clients, most of our members face during this time is staying on track and not getting off their fitness routine and their nutrition routine. It can be very challenging this time of year. You know, with company parties, get-togethers with friends and family, potlucks. It's very difficult to stay on track. So what we're going to do today is we're going to give you guys 3 simple tips to stay on track during the Christmas holidays and get you through this time, because it can be very challenging and it's very easy to get off track. I kind of look at the Christmas holidays as very much like summer. It's a time where we get to relax, we take some time off, we break away from our routine for a bit, and that also means that there's the possibility that exercise and diet can suffer. So, in order to stay consistent, we want to make sure we're putting systems and parameters in place to ensure that we're doing damage control, quote unquote, and we're able to at least stay on track, and at least we're able to maintain, throughout the holiday season. So, I'm going to give you guys 3 tips on things you can focus on and how you can stay on track during the Christmas holidays. One of the biggest things I notice with clients and members is first thing that tends to go is working out. They stop working out, they stop exercising, they stop training, and that's half the battle is just continuing your workouts and continuing your training. Even if it's not perfect, even if you don't have access to a gym or dumbbells, do something. Stay active during the holidays. Go for a walk, go for a jog. As long as you have a pair of running shoes, you can do just about anything. So first thing we're going to recommend is, as simple and as straightforward and as common sense as it might seem, stay active. Okay, don't neglect your fitness routine during the holidays, which is what a lot of people do. A lot of people have an all or nothing mentality. They think, you know what, I've gone to 3 Christmas parties, my diet's gone to shit, I don't need to work out, and I'll hit the reset button in the new year. Stay active, burn calories, keep your metabolism going. Don't stop working out just because it's the holidays. You might have to work out differently. You might have to adapt, you might have to adjust, but don't stop the activity. So that's going to be number 1, is stay active. Okay? So stay active. All right, so some examples. Walking, hiking, snowshoeing, skiing, running, going for a nice light jog. Those are all some great things you can do with little to no equipment. If you're going to be going away and you want to keep your weight training routine going, different things you can do. Find a hotel with a gym, okay, with dumbbells and a bench. That's all you need. Bring a TRX with you. Okay, a lot of you at home probably have TRX suspension trainers. You can hook it up to a doorway. You can hook it up, I don't know if you want to work out outside during this time of year, but you could hook it up to a tree and work out outside. Okay, but, for simplicity's sake, if you're going to stay indoors, you can hook it up to a doorway. You can hook it up to a beam in a basement. Okay, the big thing is stay active. So we're going to write some ideas down here. You can walk, go on a nice brisk walk. You can run. Okay, you can do TRX training. You can work out at a hotel gym. Okay, you can go snowshoeing if you're into that. Okay, great workout. I've never tried it before, but based on what I've heard it's a phenomenal workout. You can ski downhill or cross country. Another great way to stay active during the holiday season. Okay, but at the end of the day, you've got to stay active, guys. We got to keep burning those calories, keep that metabolism burning or humming along. All right. Number 2 is you want to plan your eating and you want to plan when you're going to splurge. Okay. So the reality is we're all going to go off our diet a little bit during the holidays. Okay. Where it starts to become a challenge is when people go no holds barred. They don't put any limits on when they're going to splurge. And I'm a big believer that you need to create time for your treats and to eat unhealthy and to enjoy good food with friends and family. But you want to schedule and plan that as much as you can. where the challenge lies is when we have unscheduled and unplanned sessions where we don't have any limits. We're going all out, we're gorging, okay? And that's what we don't want. So we want to plan, the meals or the evenings where we're gonna eat, we're gonna indulge, okay? So plan, what will we call it here? Treat meals / nights. Okay, and the benefit of this is you're going to go in with a different mentality. Okay, if you're planning things in advance, you're going to go into the mentality of, okay, tonight I'm going to enjoy myself at this Christmas party. Okay, I'm going to eat some unhealthy food. When you plan it, you go into the event with an expectation, okay, that you're going to enjoy what you're eating, so you're more likely to enjoy it. If you go in unplanned and decide, you know what, I am going to eat unhealthy after all, then you're going to feel guilty about it. Okay, so you want to plan in advance so you actually enjoy it. Okay, but you also want to plan in advance, okay, to put some limits on this. Okay, so you might have a Christmas party or night where you're going to go in and you're going to say, you know what, I'm not going to eat unhealthy tonight. This is what I'm sticking with. I'm going to stick with salads, I'm going to stick with lean protein, some healthy complex carbs, or it might even be, I'm not going to go to this Christmas party. So plan your treat meals and your treat nights in advance. And when you plan it in advance, you're A, going to enjoy it more, and B, you're going to put some limits and some boundaries and some rules around it. Because at the end of the day, we need to find that balance. Okay, we need to make time to enjoy, our treats and our unhealthy eating, but we also need to put limits and boundaries on that so we don't overdo it and overindulge. Okay? All right, and number 3, don't stress. Okay, so a lot of people tend to stress over the holidays about staying on track with their diet and their exercise. Easier said than done not to stress about it. However, when you stress or when you create stress in your body, cortisol levels increase. When we have high cortisol levels, okay, our body is more susceptible to hanging on to excess weight and excess fat, okay, especially around the abdomen. Okay, so when it comes to cortisol, the best way to minimize cortisol output is to reduce stress. Okay, so if you're going to be stressed about enjoying or indulging, a particular meal or on a particular night, then it's not even worth doing. It's not even worth partaking in that particular party or on that particular night. Okay, some great ways that we can reduce stress, as most of you know: exercise, one of the number one ways to reduce stress. Okay, yoga, going on a nice light brisk walk. Okay, meditation, reading, just relaxing, breaking away from your routine. These are all great ways to reduce stress. And it's the last tip we're going to leave you with, because people tend to stress a lot during the holidays. Not only just with their nutrition and staying on track with that and wondering if they're indulging too much, but just with the holidays itself, traveling, wondering if they're going to get the perfect gift for someone, Christmas shopping. Okay, all of these things tend to create stress for people. So, put things in perspective. Christmas is a time to enjoy with friends and family. It's a time for you to recharge and relax and to get a break from your routine. And it's also a time to be grateful and a time to be thankful, for the blessings that we have and the amazing things we have, and to be thankful for living in a great country that we live in Canada. Okay, so at the end of the day, perspective is everything. Don't stress. Enjoy your holiday season. Follow these 3 tips and you'll stay on track, and you'll start your new year off where you left off. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon.